Alright, real quickie this morning. Got a comment on the first video that I put out about making chips with the planer. And the comment was that the tool holder wasn't kicking back, or it didn't appear to be kicking back until it got to the very back of its stroke, and it was bouncing across the web on the lathe bed that I was cutting into pieces and I was facing off. There was 3 webs in it. And as it got to the back, it was hitting that back one, and that's when it was actually kicking up. 2 reasons for that, and I figured it out now. I didn't know why. I was letting it run, like I say, just trying to understand the machine a little bit. Part of the reason was I had the clapper box awful tight. Not awful tight, but I had it tight enough to where it was really stiff. So I loosened that up just a little bit, and I think that was a large portion of it. It was moving, but it wasn't moving as much on the beginning of its retract stroke as it was when it hit that web. The other thing is Gibs were out of adjustment, or are out of adjustment. I'm just going to tighten them down right now. Plus, part of it is also the way the machine's intended to operate. Because with this setup, when it retracts on the auto advance, why the gearing is advancing the what I'm calling the compound. It's advancing whatever automatic feed is when it's still doing the retract stroke. So it's actually moving over, or it was actually moving over as it was retracting. So it didn't have a whole lot to kick it up until it got back to that web, and it was actually moved over a fair amount then, so it was hitting that, and that was kicking it up. We had a 50-75 thousandth depth to cut on there. So it's partially the way the machine is designed too. So the way it works on auto advance is whether it's the crosshead screw or the compound screw, why it's advancing on the retract stroke. So it's traversing over or downward while it's still moving backwards. So if it hasn't already kicked that clapper box up, why it's dragging it crossways or diagonally across the area that hasn't been cut yet. So I think that's why it was kicking up more than anything else. But Gibs are out of adjustment, and it's something that I just overlooked. I had not tightened the Gibs down. And here's the Gibs right here on this. So I'm just going to, the back Gib I didn't have tightened at all. So we're going to run that in a little bit, and I'll make several trips across the other side of the planer so I can test its function, but I think this one was fairly loose. Let's see what we've got there now for feel. And I'll just adjust these by feel until we get what feels to be a pretty good setup here. I think we want to go a little more than that. And just that little bit of moving it, why it's taking up some of that space, so I know we were loose here. I guess we can kind of keep tightening until it starts acting like it's giving us a little bit of resistance here. Yeah, I can actually feel the little bit of clunk there in the lead screws. Let's see, let's loosen this one up too. We might as well adjust both of these at the same time a little bit and see what we're getting for movement out of them. See what that does for us. Take up a little bit more, and then we'll adjust them one at a time until we get what feels like proper tension on here. These were way loose. bit of free play in the screw there. Thinking that's beginning to feel pretty good here. We'll leave that right there for the moment. So the one lock screw I didn't even have set on the back gib. On this front one I did have it set, but I think they were both way loose. We're going to leave that right there. We've got a fair amount of resistance on there, so I think that's about right. I think we'll leave it there and see what we come up with. But that should be a big improvement. Wrong size wrench here. Okay, so I think that's going to be about right. Alright, well I've got the phase converter going. Let's fire off the motor from the planer. And we're going to have an interrupted cut. These are just the packings on the pieces that I was cutting before. So I'm going to ease down on it. We'll see. It's going to, like I say, be an interrupted cut. I just wanted to sharpen that tool a bit, so I just want to see how it acts. I loosened the clapper up a little bit, so we're looser there. And let's bring it down and start the cut here. Now see, it's starting to advance right there. Right there. So it would have been advancing across or traversing across and on the uncut areas, traversing that way. Let's gauge it. Well, let's do a flare now and start a cut here. Alright, I got a little bit of a cut started on this, and it's already feeling a lot freer. We've got the clapper box is operating a little better than it was, probably the way it's supposed to. And I'm not sure, we may still have to do a little adjustment on the gib. It's jumping a little bit, but I think we're also cutting steel. I've been playing on the cast iron and stuff. jumping a little bit, so I'll have to look for adjustments there. But anyway, that I think takes care of most of the issues we have with it. So anyway, a little bit of an update. Hopefully you found it a little bit interesting. And I'll leave it here. Comments or suggestions, leave it in the comment section for me below. And as always, thanks for taking the time to watch.